Hi there. Today's video on Lodron Club channel is about this kind of new craze, a new category of machines that you see these days that are long range or ultralight cruiser um, quads. You have a lot of options that you can buy on the market that basically all come at the same time from, let's say, Diaton, from Flywoo, from iFlight, a lot of companies, Airblade. Um, and not forget to mention the micro long range project by Dave C that basically set up this whole category with a machine that was 4 inch and basically under 250 grams, able to fly with the HD camera for long flight times while being very silent and very light. Um, on my side, I used my now classic and beloved model frame. It's a frame I put together at the beginning of 2020 as, let's say, an evolution of a former design that was Evo 2, Evo 3. So initially I was I was about to call it Evo 3 Mark 2 or Evo 2 Mark 3 or 4, I don't remember, but ended up with a more readable name scheme for this one, which is simply Mod L. Mod stands for modular because that was the goal of the design at the beginning, and it was to make something in the ultralight category class that was suitable for casual freestyle and light freestyle. So my first take on that, I think, was the 3-inch size that was designed to be able to carry an HD camera, something that is still true on current iteration, and the fairly light to be able to build something that is very pleasant to fly even on freestyle. It's You can achieve quite easily a build in the 90 grams, or if you go with the 4-inch version I fly here that I love very much, 110 grams ready to fly on 4S, this one. So basically my main goal was freestyle. That's why I choose not a dead cat layout, because I don't mind having props in view, and anyway you can mitigate this by positioning the camera in such a manner that you doesn't see your props on the video footage. It's SquishX because I like how it flies like this, and most of the people that try this frame really like the flight behavior. It's easy to tune and to get good and smooth results when you fly with it. That's why I continue this way. But time passing by, I found out that in fact it's in the same category as the long range cruisers, like the micro long range project from Dave. So I was kind of pushed and asked along the months to make such a design like this one, which is a cargo version, um, which have the same features than the other ones I showed just before, but is longer. So basically, the point of the cargo is to have two spots of 20 by 20. First one, you can house an I/O board that works perfectly fine on this kind of light machine. And at the rear, to be able to put a Vista system, like you see on most of those builds those days. And of course, all the accessories for GPS mounting and so on. The point of this design is that you can basically swap plates, make it them longer or shorter depending on how you want to assemble it and what are your needs. In fact, I like to use an I/O and put, if I have to put a HD system on top of it, because it keeps the build quite shorter, but you have less room for the battery. So that's why this one is quite interesting here. So this is a 5-inch setup. And to give you more details about it, let's get into what I think is a quite good approach to build one these days. and what gear you can use and how the gear on the market evolves right now. So let's review that. So as I said, my build is a 5-inch cruiser, suitable for long range or medium range mostly. So it have the same layout, squish layout. It have the crossfire at the front to get a better positioning of the antenna, even if it's not the best option, because basically you have some blind spots when you turn around in certain direction, but it's quite fine. The board at the center of the frame, this one is from Beta FPV, 20 amps, 4S capable. So I flew it with this battery, which is 1.3 amps from at HCC Infinity, and I get 7 minutes of flight at 2 degrees above zero, so it's not bad at all, because those batteries get impacted by the cold. So basically you can expect 10 minutes on such a battery with this setup exactly as is, or you can go with lithium ion to get longer flight times, maybe in the 20 minutes range, let's say. I don't know, I have yet to test out. So 20 amps board, Brother Hobby 2004 motors, which are 16 grams, I think, with Gemfan SL 5125 props that are perfectly fine for cruising and doing what we do here. All is T-mounted. On the props, you also have options from HQ and in B blades and 3 blades. For freestyle, I think I'd like to see more pitchier props, because it's quite fine, but you can feel when you fly that it could do more, in fact, with those motors and the propulsion system. So maybe something more pitchier would give good results in freestyling, not just cruising. What else can I say? You have enough room here to put a 20 by 20 stack, as I said, or 16 by 16 stack. But you see these days releases basically every day of a new F7 board. There is one from Beta FPV that is 6S capable, F7 processor. I think you have 3, 4, I don't know how many UARTs, but basically you have a lot of UARTs. You have from Flywoo that comes in 2 form factors, a rectangular one and a Wupayo one. That is F7, I think, in the 40-45. You are from GMCU, which is a low-cost brand, but apparently works well. You have from iFlight, you have F7 H7 from iFlight. You have the good old HGLRC Zeus 35. And you also have the CL Racing version 2. That is an excellent choice for this kind of build. So basically all those IOs are very convenient, because you have all that you want and all that you need for such a build inside the single board. So you can go flat, you can go with a lot of gear around without too much issues. For the motor choices, you started to have a lot of options in the 2004 range, 2005. You have the excellent one from FPV Cycle that are 2203, even new versions. All those motors have a 12 by 12 mounting pattern. So basically the 5-inch arms, not the 4-inch. The 4-inch can fit 9 up to 12, but the 5-inch specifically is a 12 by 12 only mounting pattern, supporting those ultralight motors. The frame is tough as is. The interlocking system of the arms is pretty strong and suitable for this. You have no flex, basically. It works well. But it's not a quad that you are supposed to crash. So putting up big motors, big gear, and sending it let's say, mindlessly, freestyley, bandoily. It's not the goal of this build. So basically, you have something that is tough enough with those small motors in the 16 gram range to get some good cruising and good flight sensation if you decide to freestyle a bit and throw some power loops and some more punchy flight. Other interesting things that may have some interest to tell. The GPS is a BN 220, which is a quite common chip option that works pretty well. All those yellow mounts, neon mounts that you see here are available along the frame files. The frame, as I showed just before, is a free design you can get on Thingiverse. The thing number is here, and basically you get all the files to cut the frame in your favorite place, like CNC Madness, or in Europe, Altec. You have CNC Drone, you have CC Carbon, you have Harmattan Productions. Basically, you have a ton of options. The best for me is still CNC Madness because of the quality and the precision of the cut. Basically you take the mount you need. Regarding the camera of the flight, you'll see later, I use the Insta360 Go, which is quite nice for social media sharing, but limited to 5 minutes flight time, so basically it's not the best option. The best option would be something like this Naked GoPro, so you have a mount for it on the same system. Basically you can swap cams. Which is light and would work decently good and get you good footage for this kind of machine. You really cannot put a GoPro like this one because I flew it. Huh? Keep in mind that it's a bit dumb to do that because basically it works, but you can feel the weight of the camera. The whole assembly here is 110 grams. So basically it's 60% of the weight of the rest of the quad. The rest of the quad, as you can see here with the top plate on, and the camera mount here is 190 grams. So basically it's super heavy, and even if it flies correctly, you can feel in some maneuvers that you have something heavy hanging on the front of the quad. But it works. So if you want to cruise, you can get good results anyway with this kind of camera. But to my humble opinion, this is the best option. So just to sum up before the flight, this frame is free. It's a free design. You can get cut where you want. You have all the mounting options. It's really easy to tune on a new flight. Basically, you don't need anything to you don't need to do anything to get good flights because of the layout, mostly, I think. The best gear you can put these days are the new F7, I think, boards, to my opinion. 2204, 2203 motors from FPV Cycle, a GPS and a Vista HD system, and you're good to go. Hope you enjoyed the flight. It's a bit boring because I just wanted to see how it behaves when you just cruise. So basically I just spin and go around. But it's fun to see. Thanks for watching. If you want to support, as I'm an independent designer and make no money out of this, you can subscribe, you can like the video, you can share it with your friends. Thanks a lot. Bye bye. See you next time.